I knew it was impossible to stop Kylian once he took off. I stopped him as best as I could. It was a bit rough. I didn't like it, and I apologized to him. The match in the La Liga round was a disaster for Madrid, and scandalous, and a failure. A rough foul against Mbappe, and why the referee didn't show a red card to the Espanyol defender. Did Madrid play for a positive result? And also, Rüdiger's injury. All the details are coming up in this video. We'll go over all the controversial moments. The starting lineup from Carlo. Without any surprises, Vini Jr. returned to the pitch in La Liga. Once again, Tchouaméni in central defense, and also Ceballos in central pole. But Madrid took their first painful hit already in the first half. Rüdiger got injured, in a harmless situation out of nowhere. The preliminary diagnosis is a hamstring strain. A full examination will take place on Monday. But it is already clear that there is a high degree of probability. Rüdiger won't play in the derby against Atletico, and he might also miss the Champions League match against Manchester City. In fact, the player could be out for about 2 months. The frustration on the faces of the Madrid players at the moment of Rüdiger's injury speaks for itself. This is yet another huge problem. Support for Tony, and at the same time, there's disappointment on the field from the players, and a very strong shot of Modric and Alaba on the bench. After the match, journalists logically asked Carlo whether Rüdiger's muscle injury was a consequence of the lack of rotation, including the fact that the team did not buy another central defender in the winter. But the coach dodged the question. I can't answer that question in that context. In my opinion, the journalist didn't emphasize the right points in this issue. There are no new players, that's a fact, but the coach has to find a way out of the real situation. And the question should be framed like this. Could the lack of rotation be the reason for Rüdiger's injury? I think it's not just me, but many Madrid fans feel the same way. Here are their comments. I am not a coach or a professional footballer, but I even predicted Rüdiger's injuries. These are robots, damn it, but people with the same schedule without proper rest. And this had to happen. Rüdiger's injury is not a surprise. They're using him like a bar of soap under Ancelotti. I don't want to speak poorly of Carlo, but if he has to wear a brace to play, why put him in the starting lineup? He should be on the bench until he recovers. He can't afford another injury. Ancelotti didn't rotate Rüdiger and Valverde enough. Everyone saw that the injury was inevitable. Rüdiger fell after Ancelotti and him into the ground. Valverde's injury is just a ticking time bomb that's about to blow up. We've discussed this issue multiple times on the channel and have been asking ourselves a question. Carlo, where's the real rotation of the squad when there are so many matches and when the bench is so short? Why is Raul Asensio spending so many matches on the bench? And of course, I'm filled with anger right now because all of this is leading to an injury for a very key player right before big matches. What do you think? Please write in the comments. The result was unfair. We didn't deserve to lose. We're still fighting. We're still in the fight for the La Liga title. Was Madrid lost fair? Let's figure this out, including the refereeing. Was the disallowed goal by Vinicius Jr. in the 25th minute fair? The one that wasn't counted. The referee reviewed that moment and made the call for a foul by Mbappe. But it looks surprising, because in all the replays, you can see how Mbappe is first grabbed hard by the neck. That is, it is considered permissible. And the fact that Mbappe then responds in approximately the same way is already a violation of the rules, and therefore the goal should not be counted. Here's an authoritative opinion from a former referee, but it doesn't convince me of the correctness of the referee's decision either. Mbappe hit Lassana in the face. Many did well. Allowed the episode to be played out to the end and recorded fall after the goal. Well, I don't know. I have a different opinion on this matter. And there was another episode where penalty should have been awarded, but the referees missed this moment too. The Espanyol defender raises his hand, plays the ball with his hand, and doesn't give Fran a chance to get to the ball. Isn't that an obvious penalty? At that moment, they didn't even look at it. They just played on. And this is definitely a rule violation. Look at how he goes in with a straight leg. The Espanyol player is going in on Vini Jr. And that's not even a yellow card. Moreover, Lassen then had 4 more fouls, but he never received one in this match. Warnings. Well, what kind of judging is this? Please tell me. So what? Florentino Perez's idea, the president of Madrid, to invite referees from England to officiate Madrid's matches in Spain is starting to sound like a pretty reasonable idea. This doesn't seem like such a strange idea anymore, because there are just too many mistakes in La Liga, and they tend to go against Madrid. Everyone's talking about it. We see it happening in some matches, and it definitely raises, well, some eyebrows. Why does this happen? I only have one story. English referees? Well, they make so many mistakes in the Premier League. You know that very well. I think it would be better to invite referees from France. Refereeing in France is currently top-notch. Let's move on. Let's put the referee mistakes aside for now, and focus on how Madrid actually played in this match. What were those first 45 minutes all about? Let's ask ourselves a question. Just 3 shots on goal in the first half. There were no such figures at all in any of Madrid's matches and any of its tournaments this season. The team looked like they didn't even come out of the locker room. It was just a sleepy performance from Madrid against Espanyol in that first half. Now I'm looking at the player ratings, just like I always do, in the app for Madrid fans. The link is in the description of this video. You should download it too. It's really informative. There's a lot of news there, too. I agree with the assessment of Valverde. As always, a lot of benefit and a lot of work. But at the same time, I wonder, Valverde is constantly. He's playing, and he needs a break too. This is what the Madrid fans were talking about, a little higher up in this video. I also agree with the rating for Tchouaméni. He was back in the center of defense again, and once more, it was an unconvincing match. Raúl Asensio showed up on the bench, but this young guy should be getting more playing time. And in the end, we're also talking about rotation, not just how Tchouaméni looks in the center of defense. The most important thing right now is that we lost this match. We'll talk more about Mbappe. Don't worry, we'll discuss this moment in detail very soon from all angles. In the meantime, take a look at this missed goal in the 85th minute.
We were all a bit like Arda Güler at this point. Here's his reaction as he warmed up.
From the very beginning we see a losing struggle. Modric, then Raúl Asensio, Valverde, Fran remain, the three at the back. They can't reorganize in time or position themselves correctly to deal with that counterattack. In the end, Fran kind of freezes, trying to give someone a heads up, but he loses track of his opponent, who then crosses from the wing. And we see that Valverde forgets about the player behind him who strikes the ball. The whole drama is that the winning goal is scored by the guy who should have been sent off in the 61st minute. This is Romero, and this is what he does earlier. He goes straight for Babe's calf muscle, but the referee only shows him a yellow card. He should have shown a red card, leaving Espanyol with fewer players. Romero wouldn't have scored that goal. And why did the referee only see a yellow card here? It's a big question overall. That's again a question for the refereeing. Mbappe's reaction when he was asked what he thought about it, already after the match. These shots show that it's better for him to stay quiet. Players should not comment on the refereeing. But there's a reaction from former referee
Iturralde González.
That's a straight red card, and even more so. The referee should have checked the replay. That's one of the worst tackles I've seen in a long time. Of course, and Carlo. He also spoke at the post-match press conference. An inexplicable foul, just like the decision made by the VAR referee. Everyone saw what happened. That's a clear foul. A very rough tackle, risky. What's the point of VAR? It's inexplicable that a red card wasn't shown. I don't understand how this is possible. Why wasn't there a red card here? These are the questions we're asking today, and we're really angry about it. I see in the comments, angry, of course, and the Madrid fans. What hell man, how is that not a red card? This guy was trying to ruin Mbappe's career with that tackle. And the referee is like, no, just a yellow card, but that's just ridiculous. Here's the officiating in La Liga. I hate this with all my heart. In the end, we lost 0-1. And because of the referee's mistakes, which were just countless. But let's also admit, it was due to Madrid's own play too, because that wasn't a match. Which, despite all the mistakes, we should have taken. And that's also a problem. Let's take a look at the standings. Atletico's there. We've got the Madrid Derby coming up in a week. Before the Madrid Derby, there's a cup match. After the Champions League Derby and Manchester City. We've got a crazy schedule ahead of us. We need to get ready for these matches. On the screen, you see a promo code that you can grab. Just click the link pinned in the comments, and you can register in literally 1 minute. Real money will be in your account to get through this stretch with maximum enjoyment. Go for it. Take it. You'll make it happen. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. We're keeping an eye on Madrid's matches in February. We're rooting for Madrid and believe that everything will be alright. If you give a like, I will be grateful to you. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.